Good morning, everyone. Today we are discussing about the institutions connected with the EXIM trade. First, we need to understand about EXIM trade activities. Export and import activities are completely associated between two different countries, where we need to understand the expectations of different institutions associated in trading activities, and we need to satisfy all the documentations associated with the institutional requirements. First, Department of Commerce. Department of Commerce expecting many of foreign trade activities should be under the purview of the government regulations, quota and tariff restrictions made by government should be associated with your trade activity, where you need to understand exactly about the requirement of a territorial. Maybe you may take the consideration with reference to the quality of product, packing, specifically packaging. So where if we are going to understand the expectations physically, it will be quite easier us to move forward. And the second part of the same Department of Commerce may also look forward into the maintenance of balance of payment also. Into that reference, they may make certain amount of changes on a year-on-year basis with reference to quota restrictions. That's about a quantity, what we are buying and what we are selling. Import and export should get match with the balance of payment. So in this particular purview, we need to understand about the Departmental of Commerce expectations so that it will be easier for us to reach into the better action. And the next point is about balance of trade. Policies between two different countries will be prepared and signed for a specific period of time, and bilateral agreements between two different countries will be extending towards certain amount of commodities, may not be to the complete production of that country. So we need to look forward into the policies and operations associated and required into that board of trade. So board of trade also going to give us a certain amount of list of programs that where and all we can able to operate and how we can able to execute our policies. So everywhere we need to have a contextual picture of understanding how we are going to deal with the different countries based upon the expectations of a board of trade. And the next point is about a cabinet committee. Basically, export and import activities have been empowered by a secretarial government where completely the cabinet committee meeting what they have taken the decision about certain amount of commodity, even though in the bilateral execution activity between two different countries, that product is being listed, but there is a shortage, scarcity for the supply in your domestic country itself. So cabinet committee may take the decision to the extent to hold your export activity just to serve that necessity or else that product to your home country. They may not have that intention to discourage you from doing that, but there is a necessity, there is going to be an expectation to be served for your home country people. So during that time, absolutely, people they are going to take their initiative in terms of managing cabinet committee activities. The next point is about grievance cell. Into the grievance cell, if you do have any kind of queries, complaints, you can register. And in the bilateral agreement, grievance cell is also one of the part that between two different countries, when you are going to do the transaction, you may go for finding out a background of imbalance into the perception, into the expectations, maybe into the communication. So you may have n number of differences of opinion between two different companies of those two different countries. So grievance cell may go for addressing all these difficulties, and they are going to be make you approachable to reach to that particular case, and grievance cell committee members are going to resolve all the problems. Director General of Foreign Trade. So we do have Director General of Foreign Trade where people they can go for approaching to the DGFT and get all the amount of information about present scenario of products and services can be set it off into the market, and also avail for import. So all the amount of informations can be gathered very easily through DGFT. And the next point is about the Minister of Textiles. Textile Ministry is explaining about the contextual point of the textiles export and import activities across the globe. Even a bilateral agreement which is being made between the countries is going to get highlight. But in spite of that also, when you are going to do the import and export activities, if that particular country government is ready to accept your commodity, maybe all the amount of scope variants will be exposed by Ministry of Textiles pertaining to textile products. Institutional framework. Your specific organization, if you are meant for export activity, then the commodity specific organization you yourself can able to do the survey and submit that requisition to the government that there is a scope for exporting so and so commodity, and there is a need and even market can be situated. You can submit that requisition. So automatically government is ready to acknowledge all the amount of different perspectives. Agencies at state level, development commissioners are there, small scale industries organizations are there, large scale enterprises control board is there. So people they can go for approaching the agencies at the state level, and they can go for extending their trade activities across the globe, globalization perspective, and you can go for reading up the prospective element of the balance of payment. But prior to that, you can refer to these agencies where you can go for identifying the raw material, you can able to produce, we supportively Machineries need to be allocated. Furthermore, some of the site allocation is required, transportation facilities required. So you may go for approaching to every different angles at one particular platform. That's our agencies at state level. Very easy. So with this note, today's concept, institutional connectivity with reference to EXIM trade, we have completed. And even you can go for adding many more institutions for this. Thank you to everyone.